Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today is Saturday. It is 31st of January. It is Madhya Masa, Sukla Paksham, and Trayodasi and Chaturdasi. They both are falling today. And today in India, Nityananda Trayodasi is being celebrated today. But in UK, it was celebrated yesterday. Okay, so but it is of a perspective, Trayodasi and Chaturdasi falling on the same day. Okay, so that is, but there are no events in the Bhakti-Vedanta calendar. So for today, we shall move into the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Maitreya Muni speaking about how Lord Brahma started creating the universe. So he has divided the Padma Kosha into 14 divisions in such a way when he was describing, and also because his staunch devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his knowledge is completely mature. In that state, he has divided like that universe into 14 planet systems. So when he says like that, Vidra started asking about the time factor, to describe about the time factor. यथात बहुरूपस्य हरेः अद्भुतकर्मणः कालाख्यं लक्षणं ब्रह्मन् यथा वर्णयनः प्रभु. Can you please describe all about the time factor? So likewise, Vidra started inquiring. So today, Maitreya Muni, in responding to that Vidra's question, so he started saying that the time factor, which is the source for the three material modes of nature, where by the three material modes of nature, all the interactions it would take place in this material world. And this time factor is an instrument in the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also it is the another manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, likewise, Maitreya started speaking about the time factor. Okay, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 10, verse number 11. Maitreya uvacha. गुणवितिकर आकारो निर्विशेषो अप्रतिष्ठितः पुरुषः तद्उपादानम् आत्मानं लीलया असृजत्. Gunavitikara akaro. So here Maitreya started speaking about Gunavitikara is of the interactions of the modes of material nature. Gunavitikara akaraha is the source of all interactions of modes of material nature. Nirvishesho apratistitaha, it is without diversity. Nirvisheshaha apratistitaha is unlimited. Purushaha tadupadhanam, Purushaha of the Supreme Person, tadupadhanam, and it is acting as an instrument in the hand of the Supreme Lord. Purushaha tadupadhanam, Atmanam, and Atmanam, here it is described the material creation. Lilaya asujat, Lilaya by past tense, asujat it got created. Okay, likewise, Maitreya Muni started speaking to Vidura. गुणविधिकर आकारो निर्विशेषो अप्रतिष्ठितः पुरुषः तद् उपादानम् आत्मानं लीलया असृजत्. So translation, Maitreya said, eternal time is the primal source of the interactions of the three modes of material nature. It is unchangeable and limitless, and it works as the instrument of the Supreme Personality of Godhead for his pastimes in the material creation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can I request Samhita Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Um, the impersonal time factor is the background of the material manifestation as the instrument of the Supreme Lord. It is the ingredient of assistance offered to the material nature. No one knows where time began and where it ends, and it is time only which can keep record of the creation, maintenance, destruction of the material manifestation. This time factor is the material cause of creation and is therefore a self expansion of the personality of Godhead. Time is considered the impersonal feature of the Lord. The time factor is also explained by modern men in various ways. Some accept it almost as it is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, in Hebrew literature, time is accepted in the same spirit as a representation of God. It is stated therein, God, who is at sundry times and in diverse manners, spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. Metaphysically, time is distinguished as absolute and real. Absolute time is continuous and is unaffected by the speed or slowness of material things. Time is astronomically and mathematically calculated in relation to speed, change, and life of a particular object. Factually, however, time has nothing to do with the relativities of things. Rather, everything is shaped and calculated in terms of the facility offered by time. Time is the basic measurement of the activity of our senses, by which we calculate past, present, future, but in factual calculation, time has no beginning and no end. Chanakya Pandit says that even a slight fraction of time cannot be purchased with millions of dollars. Therefore, even a moment of time lost without profit must be calculated as the greatest loss of life. Time is not subject to any form of psychology, nor are the moments objective realities in themselves, but they are dependent on particular experiences. Therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami concludes that the time factor is intermixed with the activities, actions, and reactions of the external energy of the Lord. The external energy or the material nature works under the superintendence of the time factor as the Lord Himself. And that is why material nature appears to have produced so many wonderful things in the cosmic manifestation. Bhagavad Gita 9.10 confirms this conclusion as follows. मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरम् हेतु हे हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगत् विपरिवर्तते. भागवतम की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here Prabhupada is describing about the time factor, and Maitreya Muni stated that it is the instrument in the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by which the three modes of material nature, the interactions of three modes of material nature, it takes place. Okay, that is the source. And here Lord Krishna says, Kalosmi. So, Aham Kalosmi, I am the time factor. Lokakshay Krut Pravruddho. By the time I destroy and also I recreate. Everything is by the time. But time does not affect the Lord. Time, it is the instrument in the hand of the Lord. But so in the Brahma Samhita, it is described Atma Rama Sita Syasti Prakritya Na Samagamaham. Prakritya Na Samagamaham. So And then Maya Aramamanasya na Viyogaha Tayasaha Atmana Ramayareme Chaktakalam Sisrukshaya. So Kalam Sisrukshaya, by sending his time factor, time energy to the material world, and he made make that material to work with the different activities. That is the how Lord associates with material nature. But Lord is always Atma. Evam Jyotirmayo Devah Sadanandam Paratparaha. Atma Arama Sitasya Prakritya Nasamagamaha. He never come in contact with the Prakriti directly. So this is he engages Atmana Ramaya Remi. So he is engaging in the um, engages with his Rama Devi, internal potency. Atmana Ramaya Remi Chakta Kalam Sisukshaya, by sending his auxiliary this time energy, so that activity would take place in this material world. This is interactions of three modes of material nature. And then it is unchangeable. So here it is the ingredient of the assistance offered to the material nature to carry out its activities. So no one knows where time began and where it ends. This is Anadi Adikrut Avyayaha. So antah so adantu antakaraha kalaha anadi adikrud avyayaha. Anadi adikrud avyayaha. So no one knows. It is anadi adikrud avyayaha, where time began and where it ends, and it is time only which can keep record of the creation. So here, which can keep a record of the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material manifestation. So this is how the Lord, he is the witness for the activities of all living entities, and then by the time he watches everyone. He watches everyone. And this time factor is the material cause of creation and is therefore self-expansion of the personality of Godhead. Time is considered the impersonal feature of Yaha, of the Lord. And then the time factor is also explained by modern men in various ways. Some accept it as it is explained. So again, this is different views. But Srimad Bhagavatam gives the right one. But Lord is situated in the Vaikuntha planet where time does not affect the effect on the Lord, and Vaikuntha planets are Brahma Jyoti. It is only applicable in the only some portion of the universal creations, that is only the material part, 1/4 of the creation. That is where time acts. In the spiritual world, it does not act. Pravartite yatra pravartite yatra rajastamastayoho nayatra kalaha pravet paraha prabhuhu. The time does not affect. Tatvanchamishiram nachakala vikrami nachakala vikrami. There is no influence of the time in the spiritual world. Okay, these are the explanations of Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, in a Hebrew literature, time is accepted in the same spirit. So again, like Srimad Bhagavatam, Hebrew literature also accepting time is the God, or the representation of God. Okay, this is all metaphysically. Time is distinguished as absolute and real. Okay, this is further glories of the time. Absolute time is continuous and is unaffected by the speed or slowness of the material things. Out of the 5 subjects or the 5 topics, one is soul, super soul, and then prakriti, and the time, and the karma. Out of these 5, karma is temporary, but all 4 are remaining 4 are permanent, eternal. So time is one of it. So time is astronomically and mathematically calculated in relation to the speed, change, and life of a particular object. So here we see, and also factually, however, time has nothing to do with the relative things. Rather, everything is shaped and calculated in terms of the facility offered by time. And By the time everything is moving, we see everything that, okay, these bodies are taking birth and growing and stays for some time, and then after that, the living entity leaves that body will be destroyed. Sometimes we also see that body was so beautiful now. By the time it is getting called aging process, body gets gradually deteriorate. That we practically, even though we don't want it, we don't like it, but the time will act on that body. It will deteriorate. Everything flowers blossom, and by the time they will be just again getting dried in due course of time. Okay, so this is everything by the time. Factually, every time, however, the time has nothing to do with the relativities of things. Rather, everything is shaped and calculated in terms of the facility offered by the time. It is the facility offered by the time. As soon as early morning, 3:30, devotees wake up and then getting ready to go to the Mangalacharana, everything. But still, the time has nothing to do with those activities. But devotees, they use all this time for the eternal God. That is the way to respect time and also uh, engages oneself in the devotional service. Yes. And time is the basic measurement of the activity of our senses, and by which we calculate past, present, and the future. But in factual calculation, time has no beginning and no end. Okay, again, so many dimensions. And Chanakya Pandit also says, even a slight fraction of time cannot be purchased with millions of dollars, and therefore, even a moment of time lost without profit must be calculated as the greatest loss in life. So, if we observe in due course of time within a past year, so for example, the value of the gold is getting changed within 1 year. There are so many fluctuations going and up and down, but it is only hardly 360 days. But if we just wind up into another 100 years, people would not be here. People who are just doing all those things, manipulating the prices and everything, those people would not exist. It doesn't matter how much gold he has got, and he has nothing to do with the gold. But everything is happening, the time is influencing all these activities. So here Chanakyapan says, even if you cannot purchase a moment of time with millions of dollars. Okay, so that is very, very important. Time is not subject to any form of psychology, nor are the moments objective realities in themselves, but they are dependent on particular experiences. This is kalam eki eto bhayam samatven sat um, again Kapil Bhagwan describes it gives the experience for the living entity to go through that pains and pleasures. So that one also it is mentioned. Okay, but they are dependent on particular experiences. And from the Jiva Goswami perspective, he concludes that the time factor is intermixed with the activities, actions, and reactions of the external energy of the Lord. External energy or material nature works under the superintendence of the time factor as the Lord Himself. This is Chakta Kalam Sisrukshaya. Brahma Samhita. Brahma says that this is Atmana Ramya Remi Chakta Kalam Sisrukshaya. And the external energy or material nature works under the superintendence of the time factor as the Lord Himself. And that is why material nature appears to have produced so many wonderful things in the cosmic manifestation. Okay, so this is all by the time factor. If time does not move, what happens? If a person is standing, he will still standing. If a person is sitting, everyone becomes still. No more movements. No more movements. But because time is ticking like everyone, that's why every activity is moving on. Otherwise, everything stay as it is, still. So here and the Bhagavad Gita says, Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. This material nature is working under my direction. Likewise, Krishna says here. Okay, so that is describing time factor power he gives in a very detailed way in different dimensions. Okay, so Maitreya Muni is further going to explain about it in coming verses. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Maitreya says, Gunavitikara nirvisheshu apratistitaha Purushaha tadvupadanam atmanam lilaya asrujat. Can you request all devotees to follow and repeat the lines of this shloka? Maitreya uvacha
Maitreya
Maitreya
Vacha
Vacha
gunavitikara akaro
Gunavitikara Akaro
Varo
nirvishesho apratistitaha
Nirvishesho
Nirvishesho
Apratishtaha
Apratishtaha
Purushaha tadvupadanam
Purushaha Tadupadanam
atmanam lilaya asrujat.
Atmanam
Manam
Lilaya
Leelaya
Asrujat
Asrajat.
Okay. Maitreya uvacha
Maitreya Vacha
Yauvacha
gunavitikara akaro
Gunavitikara
Akaro
Akaro
nirvishesho apratistitaha
Nirvishesho
Apratishtaha
Apratishtaha
purushastadvupadanam
Purusha
Purushasahatanam
Sahatadupadanam
atmanam lilaya asrujat.
Atmanam Lilaya
Leelaya
Asrujat
Asrajat.
Maitreya uvacha
Maitreya
Vacha
Uvacha
gunavitikara akaro
Gunavitikara
Akaro
Akaro
nirvishesho apratistitaha
Yesho
Nirvishesho
Apratishtaha
purushastadvupadanam
Purushaha
Purushasahatanam
Tadupadanam
atmanam lilaya asrujat.
Atmanam
Manam
Lilaya
Leelaya
Asrujat
Asrajat.
Very beautiful. Can I request devotees kindly take a turn to recite this shloka? Meena Mataji, would you like to go first?
Hare Krishna. Maitreya Vacha Gunavyati Gunavyati Guna Maitreya Vacha Gunavyati Aka Gunavyati Akakaro Nivises
Gunavitikara akaro
Gunavytikara Akaro Niviseso Apratishthitah Purusasta Dupadanam Atmanam Lilaya Srujat.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Maitreya Uvacha Gunavyati Gunavyatikaram Paro Nirvishesho Apratishthitah Purusastat Upadanam Atmanam Lilaya Srujat.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Maitreya Vacha Gunavyadikara Akaro Nirvishesho Abhitishtidaha Purushastat Ubadanam Atmanam Lidaya Ashrujat.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Jai Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Please accept my humble obeisances. Maitreya Uvacha Gunavyatikara Akaro Nirvishesho Apratishthitaha Purushastad Upadanam Atmanam Lilya Asrajat. Thank you. Sorry.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Prabhavati Sachi Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Maitreya Uvacha Gunavytikara Akaro Nirvisheshu Apratishthitaha Purushah Tadupadanam Atmanam Leelaya Asrajat.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Ram Lalla Prabhuji, please.
Matriya Vacha Gunavati Akara Gunavetika Akaram Nirvishesha Pratishtata Purushatta Upadanam Atmanam Lilasha Asharja.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sanchita Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Maitreya Uvacha Gunavetikara Akaro Nirvishesho Apratishtitaha Purushastad Upadanam Atmanam Leela Ashrijat.
Very nice. Would you also complete the translation, Mataji? Sorry.
Maitreya said, eternal time is the primeval source of the interactions of the three modes of material nature. It is unchangeable and limitless, and it works as the instrument of the Supreme Personality of Godhead for his pastimes in the material creation. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so that is the from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we shall move on to Srila Prabhupada as a daily letter. So the one just want to also mention to bring this one just in relation to that one about Kapil Bhagavan's statement. He speaks about that time and then how it gives experiences. So this one, it is Prabhavam Purusham Prahuhu Kalam Yeke Yeto Bhayam Ahankar Vimodasya Kattuhu Prakriti Meyushaha. And then he also mentions in the Kalam Yeke Yeto Bhayam, and here Samanvetveti Satvena. Yes, this way Samanvetyesha Sattvanam Bhagavan Atmamaya. He makes that by exhibiting his potent supreme personality of God, he adjusts these different elements, keeping himself with as a super soul and without as a time. So Kala Rupena Yobahihi, Antaha Purusha Rupena, Kala Rupena Yobahihi. Outside, he acts as a time factor. And Samanvetyesa Sattvanam. And this is one point, Samanvetyesa. So Samanveti is in another synonym for this one. He just giving makes how one can relate with the things and then getting the experience. What is that? It is not going here. Okay, but anyway, so that is what I just wanted to bring that one. So how he makes the living entities with particular experiences. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Shall move to Srila Prabhupada as a daily letter. So today letter to Niranjana, February 22nd, 1971, Gorakhpur. Can I request Ramlala Prabhuji to read this letter if possible, and also it has in the English.
My glass is not in front of me. Sorry. Anyway, I am trying. My dear Niranjana, please accept my blessings. I am glad to receive your letter dated 15th February 71. I am so glad that you are performing devotional service seriously by chanting 16 rounds daily. Don't be agitated with the criticism of your friends, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that one should be humbler than a blade of grass, and should be more tolerant than a tree of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, stick to the principle of chanting 16 rounds daily by reading our books regularly. And one day you will be great preacher of this cult. Hoping this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wishers, Abhay Saranaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Yeah. So, another request is, by 10th March, I will be visiting Sri Mayapur Dham, the birth site of Lord Chaitanya in Navadip Dham. If possible, join us. We are getting a piece of land in Gorakhpur. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
All good is to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai. Any takeaway points, Prabhuji?
Yes, actually, Niranjan Prabhu now is one of the Swami. Yes, and Prabhupada instructed them, so perform devotional service seriously. Because one of the motto of chant and be happy. So that is the main thing. So he has instructed chant 16 round, minimum 16 round actually. And don't criticize with devotee, one to another devotee, because now many devotees, they one to another is. So, but he has instructed, don't make conflict with other devotees. And it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction that Trinadapi Shunichena Gururopi Shaisna. Things we have to follow. So, lower than a blade of grass and be tolerant as a tree. Because the two things, because lower than blade of grass, if anyone going foot of the grass, but grass will not uh, accept everything, and the grass accept as blessings, and tolerate as a tree. Tree never even taking fruits, taking branch or any other thing. Also is giving a shade anyone. So this is the tolerant and the humble. So this is the principle, and we have to follow 16 round of chanting. And another thing, chant, and another instruction is book. Of, stick on books, regular read books, especially we know Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or any other Prabhupada books is very important to read. And this is our ISKCON, our principle. We have to follow that. So these are the main thing. And another thing also actually Prabhupada mentioned going to Navadip Dham. So you can join there. So this is the important way. So main thing I am recap this point actually. Don't conflict other devotees and chant 16 round and read Prabhupada books, actually Bhagavatam or other books, and two things about Vaishnava tradition. Trinadapi Shunichana, Gururopi Shaisana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely reflecting. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Prabhavati Sachi Mataji?
No, Prabhuji. Prabhuji has explained very nicely. Srila Prabhupada has mentioned so well here that when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there are some materialistic people who are not devotee. They always criticize. But I think we shouldn't be agitated and we should keep doing our, the chanting the Mahamantra. That is what I like here because we can see, I have come across many times that when you chant, we are being criticized many times. So true. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments? Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. So,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, just a little question.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, during the preaching, if someone criticizing or not criticizing, we can accept. But going down for Hare Krishna movement, what we have to do? If they mention, no, you don't need to do this thing because in this age you can do other things. Vedic scripture, maybe just clearly mentioned in Mayavadi, or they are telling, no, you have to do this thing. You should worship this thing instead of Hare Krishna, Lord Krishna. So what we have to do? We have to tolerate. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, in this world, world is full of diseases. This is also Amayo Yasha Bhutanam, Jayata Yena Suvrita, Amayo Yasha Bhutanam. So many Amaya means disease condition. By taking birth itself, one person maybe he's having a scratching disease on the body. Someone he wanted to do something to different kinds of senses. These are all itchings of the material body. And because he has got itching, he is scratching, and people are not scratching. He thinks that why they are not scratching themselves? See, he is insane. In such a way, they criticize. But actually, he has got a disease. He is scratching his body. Likewise, people with different diseases, they're all engaged in trying to reciprocate with that disease. This is called Amyo Yashabhotanam Jayatayena Surata. Why they engage in the fruitive activities? So this is called disease. The disease is the rooted desire to fulfill their fruitive activities because they're doing it, and they may criticize others that they do not have disease. See how unfortunate they are. They think in other way around. So, but here, devotees of Krishna, they are pure. They do not have any material desires at all. They wanted to render service, glorifying the Lord in a gratitude way to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the natural constitutional position of a devotee, and the people, the karmis, and also other people who are not in the devotional service. And here, when we go outside, just simply, they may be saying so many things. Why you are not scratching? I don't have any disease. That we don't have to say that. But here, we are engaging in the high level service, devotional in gratitude to glorifying the names of the Lord because He has given this body the throat to speak few words. Baddena Anjalina, Natena Sirasa, गात्रैः सर्वमुद्गमैः कण्ठेन स्वरगद्गदेन नयनेन उद्गीनबाष्पाम्भुना नित्यं त्वच्चरणारविन्दयुगलज्जानामृतस्वादिनाम् अस्माकं सरसिरुहाक् सततं सम्पद्यतां जीवितम्. कुलशेखराल verses. बद्धेन अञ्जलिना नतेन शिरसा गात्रैः सर्वमुद्गमैः. So this is the purpose of human life. Gratitude. We live in a gratitude way. Help others. This is what it is the healthy condition of the society. But here, knowing that people are diseased and devotees of Krishna, they are situated in the real condition. They can understand it. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna vit na vichalayet. Let if they are doing themselves like in criticizing and mentioning, but we have to simply tolerate. But we do not agitate those people. If a person, because of his itching, he is scratching it, we do not ask him to do not scratch it like that. We can say simply tolerate for some time. Maybe there are few other things to remediate for him. We can tell him, but for him, scratching may be pleasing for time being. That is only his experience. But yeah, we have to simply tolerate and going outside and keep on preaching. Whatever Lord has said, we simply preach. This is only what I can say, and our devotees like um, I think our Matajis, so they go on doing preaching here in London when they go outside. For example, um, Dineshwari Mataji, she was going on the Kartik month, taking the gilams and to home and knocking the doors, asking them to do some arati. Some they accept and some they do not accept it. It is according to their constitution, their consciousness. But knowing that we do not agitate them, okay, let them do what they are doing it. But if they're inclined to do it, that is well and good. So we keep going on. This is Manusyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatati Siddhaye Yatataamapi Siddhanam Kaschid Mam Veti Tatpataha. Out of millions, very few people will come. It is not possible for everyone to come to Krishna consciousness. They have got so many desires to do it. But it is a gradual process. First of all, they need to have a Shraddhaya, the faith, and then later on, first of all, association, and then Shraddha, Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Ata Bhajana Kriya. And gradually, these are the steps. But people who are outside of this process at all, so we no need to worry about those words because they are acting in a yasmin yada pushkaranabhamaya dhurantaya spruštadiyah prudrushah kurvanti tatra hi anukampe krupam na sadhuadhayo balat kurite kramam. We need to show compassionate to those people. Brahma says to Lord Shiva. Yasmin yada pushkaranabhamaya. Knowing that they are acting on the material platform, a person who is in the devotional service, he should tolerate those things and show compassionate on them. Let them do what they're doing for now. Okay, that is how when we are allowing them to do it, and they will also do not have any envious feelings towards the devotees. Okay, so this is what practically few statements from Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
May I ask a question related to this?
Yes,
So I understand that one has to be tolerant. I understand that everybody is different. We shouldn't force anyone. I get that. But what if there is a hindrance in the sense that we cannot progress too much because obviously we have to try and please other people. Is that okay?
We do not try to please others.
People. We are living in a family. We don't upset other people. So then we try and slow down or don't do things or just to please other people.
So there are two dimensions to whether to please, is it a primary activity or secondary activity? That matters again. In the family, for example, if it is a needful activities and pleasure giving activities, there are secondary activities. So primary activities like the cooking the food and feeding them and giving the essential knowledge and looking after the health. These are the needful things. And secondary things like, okay, going with them to the movies, going to the restaurants, and some many pleasure taking places. That is the secondary things. So what kind of activities we are trying to please them? That is a question. If it is a primary, there is no harm. And the secondary thing, it is an optional. But if they are asking us, but with a love, knowing their condition and knowing our position, because of for them we do it. It is not that our desire. So, but we not uh, Name Dveshostina Priya. Krishna does not do anything like it. There is no envious thing and no ego direct to him, but he reciprocates the devotees. Again, a devotee, tasya prajna pratisthita. He never hate anything, and at the same time, he never adore anything. Again, Krishna says in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So that one we can assess based on circumstance, Mataji.
Thank you.
In the beginning of the questions, sometimes we have to tolerate. This is the good right principle. That is to tolerate and be humble. But sometimes a devotee uh, can can follow this principle, but sometimes he has to challenge some aspect. It's not his personal ego. It is sometimes he has to do for his spiritual masters, or Vaishnava, or for example, in the ISKCON founder Prabhupada. Sometimes he has to say something, because sometimes we know that Sri Jiva Goswami, he challenges not for himself, not for himself. That is also very important. We have to know that. So it's sometimes maybe dilemma, but sometimes we have to, how many percentage we can tolerate, whose level, where. We have to, as a devotee, should be very intellectual person. So this is a very important way to follow this principle. So that is, I'm repeating, he will not do challenge for himself or his ego, for others. This is one thing very important. We have to, because this is the way he has to protect devotee. He has to protect his guru. So that is the main principle. We have to know that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And
Yeah. Another thing is very interesting, because the letter actually to His Holiness, actually now His Holiness Niranjan Prabhu, although he was American body, but he spent a lot of time in especially in the Russia, not Russia, Ukraine. So he's appreciated to his heartfelt kirtan, devotional music, and recorded many lectures that inspired many practitioners actually to become as a devotee. And this is very important. Another thing, actually, we know is a very nice, His Holiness Niranjan Prabhu, Niranjan Mahaswami, actually, sorry. So he is actually a GBC member, vital member, as well as if you go back his spiritual life, he became actually influenced in 1970, but he take initiation through Prabhupada as 1974, and to take sannyas in 1986. So this is his way, but he is a very vital preacher and teacher, especially in North America, India, Eastern Europe, and so especially in former Soviet, actually Ukraine, he was one of the very, very important. Ukraine, Russia, others country, other way. So we know he is a very, very, very excellent preacher. If we can follow his lecture, his kirtan, we can follow his kirtan. It's really amazing. We can follow him. His lecture also very nice, very highly devotional. We can follow him. Hare Krishna. So last finally to say, Prabhupada can change anyone. And he can pick up nice flower and to give Radha Madhav lotus feet. So he has selected as a great flower, excellent. This His Holiness Niranjan Swami, and he is also serving us in Mayapur also. When he was taken from us in 1984, I think, 84 or 87, like this. So he is very, very nice. One of the vital members in ISKCON member. We can follow his everything. Either his lecture or his kirtan, everything is very nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for glorifying Niranjan Swami. Okay, any other comments, dear devotee?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, I was listening to the nice discussion about the letter. Just one line I wanted to add about, we are getting a piece of land in Gorakhpur. So Prabhupada was here. Gorakhpur was a very important place, a spiritual place. It was a hub kind of because of Gita Press. And Prabhupada, first time when he was going to the US, getting the 2 cantos, he got it, and Bhagavad Gita as it is, everything. He had a good relation with Hanuman Das Poddar, and even he got the books printed because ISKCON Press, the BBT Press came much later, in later years in America. But before that, the first set of books that Prabhupada took with him to the West, they were all printed in Gorakhpur, Gita Press. So that so when he comes back, and so in this comeback, like when he came back with his Western devotees to India, in many letters we see that he is trying so hard to get a land in Gorakhpur and then build a temple. So the temple there, it was established, it's called Radha, the deities are called Radha Madhav deities, and it's very similar to the format of Krishna Balaram temple. So they have Krishna Balaram, Radha Madhav in the middle, and then Nitai Gaurachandra, so Gaur Nitai deities, so 3 of them, 3 set of deities. And I think that inspired him again to make, like when he did the Krishna Balaram temple, he did it in the same format. It was quite popular because in Vrindavan there's so many temples, thousands of temples, but we don't see Krishna Balaram like together. So I think the idea, he started first, so we think like it's the first one in Vrindavan, but actually he started that in Gorakhpur. So just wanted to add that information for the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for adding those points. Okay, any other comments?
Samhita Mataji mentioned actually Gorakhpur. One of this place, sometimes even Mayavadi or some others, they think this is the valid place. Valid in the Gorakhpur place, if something Gorakhpur place, they consider this is the right one. So that is also another influence of Gorakhpur. So even some people, they don't like to hear about ISKCON. They don't like. But if it is Gorakhpur's place, they think, oh, this is the valid one. So that is also very important. Very funny, actually. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, we shall move on to the Sri Brahma Samhita if you're all happy. Okay, so
Just one line. Ramlala Prabhu, you're right. But Prabhupada at that moment, because he needed somewhere to start, right? Because he didn't have funds to start his own press and all. So making the more best out of whatever is available. So that's why he took that opportunity. But later, like his books were printed, all the books were printed in the BBT only. But first, a stepping foundation step. So he used that. But of course, like most of the books and all, ISKCON, we don't follow that path. It's like more with impersonalists, and UP and that belt is more about that. But like, I mean, Prabhupada used it for the first time to get his books printed. I mean, he Hanuman Prasad Poddar, he he asked like you can. So both cooperated with each other in that way, like because they were friends. So yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So moving on to Shri Brahma Samhita. Okay, so in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma again, it is how he has been. There are many Brahmas. So our Brahma in our universe, who is Chaturmukha Brahma, and who has got potency from the Hiranyagarbha Brahma, who is created by the Mahavishnu. From his right limb and from left limb, he created Vishnu. From his eyebrows, he created Shambhu. Okay, those are all outside of all the universes. And then out of later on, so many universes are coming from the bodily parts of Mahavishnu. And from each and every universe, the Lord is entering. So Vishnu is entering into each and every universe. The Vishnu who was created by Mahavishnu, that is second Vishnu, he is entering into all of these universes as a Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And later on, where he lies in that each universe for Sahasra Yuganam cha Sahasram Apsu. So 4,000 Yuga cycles. And then there, by the time when it is the time for the living entities to come out from the body, then lotus flower emanates from the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and then where Brahma comes. So in our universe, he is four-headed Brahma. In other universe, different heads. And that Brahma get potency from the Hiranyagarbha Brahma. Hiranyagarbha Brahma, who is outside of all other universes. He is the father of all other Brahmas, in other way. Okay, so that, or we can say that he is a prototype of Brahma. So now these Brahmas here directly manifested from the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu now. Now here, he is meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he was instructed when he was saying that there is no one at the time, Divya Saraswati, who is the concept of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the spiritual planet. Sometimes we may be saying demigods in this material world, and the names are coming from the spiritual world. For example, Ganesha is in the spiritual world, in the Vaikuntha planet. But in this material world, when the Ganesh was manifested, that is the material form. That is one of the demigods. But in the spiritual world, they are the spiritual personalities. They give their potency to the persons who are appearing in this material world. Likewise, Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma. So now, he was instructed by the Divya Saraswati that now you just meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead with the mantra. This is Vallabhaya Priyavahnehe mantram te dasyati priyam, and all your desires will be fulfilled. What is that? Kamaha Krishnaya Govinda He Gopijana Ityapi. So likewise, Divya Saraswati says, this is Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha. This is the mantra. And whoever is meditating on that mantra and meditating on Krishna, all of their desires will be fulfilled. Tapasvam tapayetena tava siddhir bhavishyati. So likewise, Devi Saraswati spoke to Brahma. And then Brahma, he has been meditating. Adtepe sachicharam prinan govindam avyayam श्वेतदीपतिं कृष्णं गोलोकस्थं परात्परं प्रकृत्या रूपिण्या पर्युपासितं. So in this previous shloka, he was mentioning like पर्युपासितं सहस्रदलसम्पन्ने कोटिकिञ्जल्कबृंहिते भूमिचिन्तामणिः तत्र कर्णिकारे महासने समासीनं चिदानन्दं ज्योतिरूपं सनातनं शब्दब्रह्ममयं वेणुं वादयन्तं मुकाम्बुजे विलासिनी गणवृतं स्वैः अंशैरभिष्टुतम्. So in this form, the Krishna is sitting on the throne, and in that form he is meditating here. Brahma, being desire of satisfying Govinda, practiced the cultural acts for Krishna in Goloka, Lord of Shvedadipa, for a long time. His meditation ran thus. There exists a divine lotus of 1,000 petals, augmented by millions of elements in the transcendent land of Goloka. On its wall, there exists a great divine throne on which is seated Shri Krishna, the form of eternal effulgence of transcendental bliss. Playing on his flute, resonant with the divine sound, with his lotus mouth. He is worshipped by amorous milkmaids with the respective subjective portions and extensions, and also by his external energy. So, who stays outside, embodying all mundane qualities. So, they're all worshipping Krishna. So, that Brahma uh, meditating on that Lord. Okay. So, here, and then what he has done further, what has happened to him. Likewise, in the Brahma Samhita, further shloka is describing that. So here he was second initiated by the flute song of Krishna. Okay, that is the shloka. Okay, we shall go through the recitation and then coming to purport. अथ वेणुनिनादस्य त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः स्फुरन्ति प्रविवेशाशु मुखाब्जानि स्वयंभुवः गायत्रीं गायतः तस्माद् अधिगत्य सरोजजः संस्कृतस्य अधिगुरुणा द्विजितामगमत्ततः. अथ वेणुनिनादस्य त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः. अथ वेणुनिनादस्य, then Venuninadasya, of the sound of the flute, Triyamurti Mayi, Triyamurti, the mother of the three Vedas. Traivinya, Vishya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhavabjana. Krishna says to Arjuna, this is Triyamurti, this is Vedas, mother of the three Vedas. Murti Mayi. And here, mother of the three Vedas, Gatihi, the means, the Gayatri mantra. Triyamurti Mayi Gatihi, at the Gayatri mantra. Spuranti Preveshashu. Spuranti, being made manifest, and Preveshashu entered also very quickly. Mukhabjani Swayambhuha, Mukhabjani, and in the mouths of the Brahma. Mukhabjani, the lotus faces. He has got 8 faces. Swayambhuva of Lord Brahma. He has appeared from the navel of Garbhodaka side. He is Swayambhuva. Swayambhu, Narada, Hoshambhu, Brahma, Narada, Shambhu, they are all Prajapatis, devotees of the Lord. So Swayambhu is the Brahma. And so here that sound is entering into the face of the Brahma. Mukhabjani Swayambhuha, Gayatrim. What sound? This is Gayatrim, Gayataha Tasmad. Gayatrim, the Gayatri, Gayataha, the sounding, Tasmad, from him, the Krishna's, the flute. Gayataha Tasmad, Adhikatya Sarojajaha. Having received Sarojajaha, the lotus born, the Brahma, who is born out of the lotus flower, Sarojajaha, and Samskritasya Adiguruna, Samskritaha, and he is initiated, Samskritaha, initiated, Cha, and Adiguruna, by the primeval preceptor. Adi Guruna. So the primeval preceptor, he is the Adi Guru in this material world. And Dijat, Digitam, the status of the twice born. Digitam, Agamat tataha, and he attained that status as a Brahmana. This is he attained the Brahmana position. Agamat tataha thereafter. When Krishna was playing his flute, the sound entered into the mouth of Brahma through all his 8 faces, and then he was initiated. That is Gayatri Mantra. The sound coming from the flute of Krishna is the Gayatri Mantra. So this is Atavenu Ninadasya Trimurti Mayi Gatihi Spuranti Preveshashu Mukabjani Swayambhavaha Gayatrim Gayataha Tasmad Adigatya Sarojajaham Samskrishya Adi Guruna Digitam Agatam Digita Magamattataha. As I'm just here, Digita Magam Mattataha. It comes very nicely. But here, when we are splitting the words Digitam Agamat Tataha. Okay, so that is the shloka. So here, translation. Okay, can I request any devotee to read the translation and purport, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Translation. Then Gayatri, mother of the Vedas, being made manifest, that is imparted by the divine sound of the flute of Sri Krishna, entered into the lotus mouth of Brahma, born from himself through his 8 ear holes. The lotus born Brahma, having received the Gayatri, sprung from the flute song of Sri Krishna, attained the status of the twice born, having been initiated by the supreme primal preceptor, Godhead himself. Purpose. The sound of Krishna's flute is the transcendental blissful sound, hence the archetype of all Vedas is present in it. The Gayatri is a Vedic rhythm. It contains a brief meditation and prayer. Kama Gayatri is the highest of all the Gayatris because the meditation and prayer contained in it are full of the perfect transcendental spiritual activities which are not to be found in any other Gayatri. The Gayatri that is attained as the sequel of the 18 lettered mantra is Kama Gayatri, which runs thus Klim Kama Devaya Vidmahe Pushpa Pushpabanaya Pushpabanaya Dhimahi Tanno Ananga Prachodayat. In this Gayatri, the realization of the transcendental pastimes of Sri Gopijana Vallabha after perfect meditation and the prayers for the attainment of the transcendental God of love are indicated. In the spiritual world, there is no better mode of endeavor for securing the super excellent rasa bedeved love. As soon as that Gayatri entered into the ear holes of Brahma, he became the twice born and began to chant the Gayatri. Whoever has received the same Gayatri in reality has attained his spiritual rebirth. The status of a twice born that is obtained in accordance with one's worldly nature and lineage by the fettered souls in this mundane world is far inferior to that of the twice born who obtains admission into the transcendental world because the initiation or acquisition of transcendental birth as a result of a spiritual initiation is the highest of in glories in as much as the jiva is thereby enabled to attain to the transcendental realm. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here, this is the Gayatri Mantra, Mother of the Vedas. So it is being manifested and imparted by the divine sound of the flute of Sri Krishna that entered into the lotus mouth of Brahma, born from himself through his 8 ear holes. And then by that, the lotus-born Brahma, having received that Gayatri mantra, sprung from the flute song of Krishna. Then he has attained the status of the twice-born. Then he became a Brahmana. The Brahma became a Brahmana, twice-born, having been initiated by the Supreme Primal Preceptor, Godhead Himself. So this is how, and here when in our society as well, Srila Prabhupada, he has recorded the Gayatri mantra, and then he is initiating the disciples, the playing the sound. The sound is coming from Prabhupada's chanting, and it is played in front of the second initiated devotees, and then that will be done in a secretly. Okay, this is how it enters the process. That is how he will become a Brahmana later on. And then he will have to start practicing that day-to-day activities, Brahmana's activities. So here the sound of Krishna's flute is the transcendental blissful sound. Hence the archetype of all the Veda is present in it. Okay, that is the flute sound. And the Gayatri is the Vedic rhythm. So this Gayatri mantra, Om Bhur Bhosvaha Tattviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodhayat. It is very beautiful. And many people, they describe the glories of Gayatri mantra. It is properly composed. Om Bhur Bhosvaha Tattviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Okay, so but this mantra, it is secretly given to the initiated devotees. But it contains a brief meditation and prayer. And here, Kama Gayatri is the highest of all Gayatris. There are few Gayatri mantras. And the other day, I think Ramnath Prabhuji was describing about the Gayatris, morning one Gayatri, afternoon one Gayatri, evening one Gayatri, like that. So out of those, Kam Gayatri is the highest of all Gayatris, because the meditation and prayer contained in it are full of the perfect transcendental sportive activities, which are not to be found in any other Gayatri. For that purpose, Kam Gayatri is the highest of all Gayatris. Of course, here who are initiated like that, they may be knowing more details of it. But here we are learning from the Brahma Samhita. And the Gayatri that is attained as the sequel of the 18 letters mantra is Kama Gayatri, which turns thus Klim Kamadevaya Vidmahe Pushpabhanaya Dhimahi Tanno Ananganaha Prachodayat. Tanno Anangaha Prachodayat. So this is, we understand this Dhimahi, we understand this one. Prachodayat, we understand. Prachodayat means enliven within me. So Klim Kamadevaya Vidmahe Pushpabhanaya Dhimahi. Pushpabhana we also understand. And Kamadevaya. So here this is again describing about the Supreme Lord Krishna only. Okay, so in this Gayatri, the realization of the transcendental pastimes of Sri Gopi Jana Vallabha, after perfect meditation and prayer for the attainment of the transcendental God of love, are indicated. In the previous, Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopi Jana Vallabhaya Swaha. The previously it is Divi Saraswati mentioned to Brahma, Kamaha Krishnaya Govindaya Govinda He Gopi Jana Ityapi Vallabhaya Priyavah Nirmantram Te Dasiti Priyam. When you chant on that mantra, meditating on Krishna, then tapastvam tapayetena tatava siddhir bhavishati, all your desires will be fulfilled. Now, so in this Gayatri, the realization of the transcendental pastimes, this is realization of the transcendental pastimes of Sri Gopi Jana Vallabha, like the participating as one of the Gopi along with Krishna. So these are coming into this mantra after perfect meditation and the prayer for the attainment of the transcendental God of love are indicated. It is describing about the participation in Krishna's Rasa Leela pastimes. So many devotees, they after so much of austerities and penances, engaging themselves into devotional service, they wanted to become one of the gopis of Krishna. They wanted to become one of the gopis of Krishna and participate in those pastimes, amorous pastimes. In the spiritual world, there is no better mode of endeavor for securing that super excellent rasa bedewed love. What is this one? Bedewed love? I think rasa bedewed love means, I think possibly it may be. Let me just. Can anyone say that? What is that meaning of that one? Rasa bedewed. With a dress covered, soaked with liquid such as water. So that is pouring of love in another way. Okay, it is moistening, something like that. Okay, here it is pouring of love, too much of love, super excellent, rasa bedewed love, immersing in that love. So one has here, there is no better mode of endeavor for securing the super excellent rasa bedewed love. As soon as that Gayatri entered into the ear holes of Brahma, he became the twice born and began to chant the Gayatri. And whoever has received, so here he is chanting the Gayatri. But this is describing about Kama Gayatri. This is describing Kama Gayatri, but it is only as part of the purport. But here, when it comes to the Brahma, so here it is Trayamurti Mayi Gatihi. It is a normal Gayatri, but it does not say which Gayatri has entered into the mouth of Brahma. But out of all the Gayatris, this Kama Gayatri is the highest. This is describing about Kama Gayatri up to this highlighted part. And now it does not say that which Gayatri has entered into the mouth of Brahma. So here, then here we may understand that it is normally Brahma received the Gayatri. That's all we can understand. Okay, now the status of twice born, that is obtained in accordance with one's worldly nature and lineage by fettered souls in this mundane world is far inferior to that of the twice born who attains admission into the transcendental world. So here one must be qualified to enter into the spiritual world. It is not that everyone get the liberation. First of all, they do not know what is liberation means. So here always people, this is karmis and jnanis. So people and the Varnashrama dharma that starts from the human civilization. Anything behind downwards from the Varnashram, that is cats and dogs. They do not get anything. They will keep on taking birth and birth, old age, disease and death, birth, old age, disease and death. So that is cats and dogs life. But after that, the human civilization starts. So this is dharma, who has got a dharma as a specific quality. Ahara nidra bhayamaitanam cha samanyam yetat pasubihi naranam. Pasubihi naranam. That is ahara nidra bhayamaitanam cha. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Those four activities common. Samanyam yetat pasubihi naranam. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho. Out of them, dharma is the specific of all those living entities. If dharma is not there, they're all pasubhi. Dharmo hi hina pasubhi samana. If there is no dharma, following dharma, varnashrama dharma, then it is a animal only. So out of those things, gradual elevation of the spirit soul from elevating the qualities to the Brahmana level. Then he is properly second initiated, following rules and regulations, completely aligning to the what Lord has says, what Lord has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, in those scriptures. Then he is a qualified person to enter into the spiritual world. That is attained through devotional service. He will attain all those qualities. Okay, so and then because the initiation or acquisition of transcendental birth as a result of spiritual initiation is the highest glories, in as much as the jiva is thereby enabled to attain the transcendental realm. That is Achyuta Priya Bandhavaha. One become by the initiation, by glorification of Krishna. He by just following the instruction of Krishna, he will become dearer to Krishna. And then Achyuta Priya Bandhavaha. Yanti Anjasa Achyuta Padam. They will attain the Achyuta Padam very easily. Yanti Anjasa Achyuta Padam Achyuta Priya Bandhavaha. So it is Shuddhaha, Santaha. So it is described Sarvabhutanuranjanaha. Yanti Anjasa Achyuta Padam Achyuta Priya Bandhavaha. By becoming the Brahmana, acquiring all the highest qualities. And becoming a devotee means he must be Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavate Kinchana Sarvaihi Gunaihi Tatra Samasate Suraha. He has got all qualities of demigods. That is the devotee of Krishna. He has got all qualities. Then he is qualified to enter into the spiritual world. So that process is the initiations. The first initiation is he will be given to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, follow 4 regulative principles. And then once he is studying his practice, later on, spiritual master is again second time he initiates with the sacred thread. That is Brahmana initiation. Here in the case of Lord Brahma, he was initiated by the Gayatri mantra, which is the sound coming from the flute of Krishna. Then so Jiva is thereby enabled to attain to the transcendental realm to become qualified. Okay, likewise here it is in the purport. So Jiva Goswami and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, they are describing about this shloka here. Okay, now I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything on this shloka or you want to discuss on this topic, so kindly ask your questions and then let us discuss. Hare Krishna.
Is it audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So in this age, whatever we have to emphasize, actually, if you do Gayatri, especially Kam Gayatri also, so we can reach in the transcendental world, and also Hare Krishna Mahamantra, also we have to do that. So transcendental world, this is the huge area, huge place. So what is the highest destination? Either which one is Gayatri or Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And second thing, also I like to say also, Kam Gayatri is a more attractive one. So, and also it is very important to do, especially very early in the Brahma Muhurta. So we have to follow that also, that time also, just to give some comment also. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here, out of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the Gayatri mantra. So Hare Krishna mantra is another form of Omkara. Omkaram, it is split into 3 syllables by like the Akaram, Ukaram, Makaram. Akaram, Ukaram, Makaram. So here Jiva Goswami says Akaram, it represents Krishna, Ukaram represents Radharani, and Makaram is it describes about the living entities. Okay, so this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not different from the Omkara. Hare is Krishna, energy of Krishna, that is Radharani, and Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Rama is the pleasure potency of the Lord. And when we are chanting, we are associating with the Krishna straight away. So it is another form of Omkara. But here we are directly addressing the Lord by his name here and his energy. And similarly, in the Gayatri mantra as well, Om Bhur Bhoswaha Bhur, Omkaram is there, Bhur is the Bhur Loka, Bhur Loka, Suvar Loka. And then there it is not described. Om Bhur Bhuvaha Suvaha Tatsvitar Varenyam. So there is a again going back to, I think we need to bring out some of the descriptions by the authorities. Gayatri mantra and how they have described mantra here, Gayatri mantra and Hare Krishna mantra. Just to bring out some of the explanations from ISKCON devotees, our acharyas. Different mantras for okay. So here, generally, when they are first of all, they are, our devotees, when they're first initiation, they chant all the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and then follow the rules and regulations. In the second initiation, they will get additionally this Gayatri mantra. That is additional thing. So this is the second level. So here, Maha Mantra, there is no restrictions. That is why it is prescribed for Kali Yuga, because most of us are not really following any rules and regulations. Even when you're not initiated, you can start chanting this mantra. Narada Muni, at the end of Dwapara Yuga, when Kali entered, asked Brahma, what is the mantra that these fallen people in Kali Yuga so that they can chant even when they are in most impure conditions, but still be delivered. Then Brahma replied, only Lord's names can save them. Narada Muni inquired further, which Lord's name? Then Brahma said, 16 words and 32 syllable mantra, the Maha Mantra. That's why it is called Maha Mantra. Every other mantra is called just normal Maha Mantra. They have to chant any particular times. Maha Mantra means there are no rules and restrictions. This is described here. Even when a person is dying, they can simply chant Maha Mantra even on deathbed. There is no restriction of cleaning the place or sitting upright or doing any ritual to start the mantra, even when you are most inconvenient locations, in circumstances where you have not even had a chance to take a bath also, this Maha Mantra can be chanted. This is glories of Maha Mantra. This Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Okay, and in Kali, most of us are usually unclean. Many times we don't follow strict Vaishnava principles. Some of you are not even initiated. Even some take onion, garlic, and intoxicants, but still can chant mantra. This is not the rule in case of other mantras. Without a guru initiation, other mantras cannot be chanted. It becomes a sin. That is the difference between Nama mantras and Om mantras. Purely taking names can be done by anyone. Purely taking names of Lord Krishna itself purifies the place and makes you clean internally and externally and makes you eligible to chant Rama name also. Okay, this is a beautiful part. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I think it gives much elaboration on it. So any mantra which starts with, you cannot chant Om mantra simply at any place. So there is a restriction for it. You need to maintain purity of place. You must sit in an asana and must be chanting properly and follow rules. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This Gayatri mantra, I don't know about other households, but mostly in Gujarati households, we've been brought up with Gayatri mantra. And I remember doing it even in the car and everywhere when you're walking or something. So, and Gayatri Havan and all those things have been done. But here it says it's a very sacred mantra and should not be taken lightly.
Yes. with the Om mantra, starting with Om.
Because in any rituals as well, the Gayatri mantra is spoken.
Yes, that is the spiritual master will initiate the devotee by speaking this mantra in the ears privately. Then he will start following the rules.
Yeah, no, that is initiation, but I'm talking about other rituals like, people do kathas and whatever, yagnas or whatever, and then they would start doing Gayatri mantra like that. Or any events, they will start with Gayatri mantra. This is how it's done in our... yeah.
No, that is not done publicly, like it's sitting 100 people at the same time doing mantras in the public. No, that is not done with this. They are privately, spiritual master invites the devotee in a private place, speak this mantra in his ears. That is how that takes place. It should not be, Om mantras should not be done publicly. That is what here it is mentioned.
Hare Krishna. Even Kam Gayatri, the first letter, it should not be pronounced. Then the potential will going down, because some people, they don't pronounce in the first letter. Yeah. Yes, first letter. Yeah, especially first letter. K,
Clean.
with K. Yes.
Clean. Yes.
K. This word we should not pronounce, because some other they mentioned is the potential going down. This is the very important one. So this first letter, especially first letter. This is very, very powerful. But if we pronounce, and if it is only ear, and we have to pronounce correctly, and it has to be in the right position, right time. That is Muhammad Sharanena na Kalo. But here we have to pronounce in the right time, right way, right manner, right condition, even in the pure sitting place. Everything should be right. And the first letter we should not pronounce. You mentioned actually Om. This is the first letter also similar, something similar. This letter, this first letter especially. Yeah, that is people they don't pronounce. So it's very, very different, and there's a high potential about it. But at the end, actually, Dhimahi. In Bhagavatam also, Dhimahi.
Yes.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here, there is, I think, Jiva Goswami says about one thing about the Omkara. Nirakara. Somewhere it is described. Okay, but anyway, so just was that to bring that shloka what Jiva Goswami is describing. Akaram uchite Krishnaha sarvalokaikanayakaha ukaram uchite Radha makaram Jiva Vachakaha. So something like that Jiva Goswami describes. Okay. About the Omkara. Thank you, Prabhuji, about speaking about unclean. So it's a pure word to be used in a proper place. That is what here. It must be.
Exactly. How do you mention? This word is very, we should not write any place, any paper also. So that is, we found the instruction from that. So even we cannot write anything. That's why it is from Guru mouth and ear. Gayatri mantra you can do also, that is also different. But Kama Gayatri is another special. Special, very special one, very powerful one. Yeah. That's why this mantra, if anyone can chant, he can be attracted to Lord Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this applies to the other mantra which is in the Shatkon as well, isn't it? Prabhuji, the Gopinath, Vallabh and Krishnaya, something, that mantra as well.
Yes, that is also the same thing, Mataji. So that is also Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha. That mantra is also the same. I think it is 25th shloka here. Where is that shloka comes? That one, I think Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha.
It was just there. You just, I saw it just now.
Just now,
Down, Prabhu, it's like
Yeah,
it's
down.
going
Down. Yeah.
or this one, yes.
It was in the translation as well. Yeah.
Uvacha Puratasmi Yadivi Saraswati, yeah, this one.
Yeah, in this one.
Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha. So this mantra, it comes in the Goloka chart, where we see that one beautiful chart. Where let me just open that Goloka chart. So in this Goloka chart, it is surrounding around Radha and Krishna here. So here it is mentioned, Klim is the center word. It is mentioning the Bij mantra. Klim is the Bij mantra.
So this can't be chanted unless it's given by a guru, yes?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So here Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha. In the beginning, षट्कोणं वज्रकीलकं षडङ्गषट्परिस्थानं प्रकृत्या पुरुषेण च. This is षट्कोणं, the 6 angles. So in the middle, Krishna and Radharani. So claim it mentions the both deities, Prakrutya Purushena cha. Premananda Mahananda Rasena Avhitam Hiyat Jyoti Rupena Manuna Kama Bijena Sangatam. This is Kama Bijam. Tat Kinjalkam Tadam Shanam Tat Patrani Shriyamapi. It's very beautifully describing about the Gola Kurinda. Okay. Any other question?
Hare Krishna. Actually, this mantra, whatever you mentioned, is some may chant in the right time, right place. This is sometimes some guru gave this mantra. So this is a Kam Gayatri. So it is it is also very powerful actually, and we chant with the finger, not other thing, counting with finger, and we have to do 108 times, or otherwise we can do also with the Upunayan, second initiation. We can do also with that and counting with finger. Yeah. Normally Brahmana can do that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees? Any other questions? Okay, there are no questions. So this is
Hare
this.
Krishna Prabhuji, just one thing, because Gayatri mantra is the second initiation, and also first initiation actually the Maha mantra. Both has to be done parallelly. Those who are Brahmana, they have extra work. They have to do Gayatri. Those who are very lucky, they can get as a Kama Gayatri, Kama Gayatri mantra. And additionally, they have to do, it is obligatory to do Maha mantra. So both has to be maintained.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, one has to qualify to take that one.
Jaivid Mataji, for you, in Gujarat, you are mentioning in the Gayatri mantra. They are chanting Gayatri mantra loudly in the public place.
Loudly, public place, loudly.
Normally should not be. Yeah, normally should not be.
Mm.
Yeah. This is coming from Guru.
This comes from the priest sometimes, whoever is there doing Katha, Havans, whatever. Who's here? Is Meena Mataji or they've all gone? Usha Mataji is gone. Yeah. I could have asked them as well what their thoughts were on this. Yeah.
Normally it's coming from Guru mouth to ear to disciple. No other way. No public place. It should not be any public place.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so this Gayatri mantra, starting with any mantras, starting with Omkara, as it is mentioned here. So they needs to be properly done at a particular place. The purity of place, you must sit in an asana and must be chanting properly and follow the rules and regulations. After, when you get initiated to such mantras by a guru. Okay, so that is from about the mantras here, about this Gayatri mantra. So here Brahma was initiated by the sound that is coming from the flute of Krishna, the divine sound. That is how he became a Brahmana. Okay, that is from that shloka. And then can I request all devotees kindly take a turn to recite this shloka, please? Wherever it is possible, kindly unmute line by line, follow behind me. अथ वेणुनिनादस्य
अथ वेणुनिनादस्य
त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः
त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः
पुरन्ति प्रविवेशासु
पुरन्ति प्रविवेशासु
मुकाब्जानि स्वयंभुवः
मुखाब्जानि स्वयंभुवः
गायत्रीं गायतः तस्मात्
गायत्रीं गायतः तस्मात्
अधिगत्य सरोजजः
अधिगत्य सरोजजः
संस्कृतश्च अधिगुरुणा
संस्कृतश्च अधिगुरुणा
द्विजितामगमत्ततः
द्विजामगमत्ततः
Again. अत वेणुनिनादस्य
अथ वेणुनिनादस्य
त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः
त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः
पुरन्ति प्रविवेशासु
स्फुरन्ति प्रविवेशासु
मुकाब्जानि स्वयंभुवः
मुखाब्जानि स्वयंभुवः
गायत्रीं गायतः तस्मात्
गायत्रीं गायतः तस्मात्
अधिगत्य सरोजजः
अधिगत्य सरोजजः
संस्कृतश्चादिगुरुणा
संस्कृतश्चाधिगुरुणा
द्विजितामगमत्ततः अथ वेणुनिनादस्य
अथ
अथ
वेणो
वेणुनिनादस्य
निनादस्य
त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः
त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः
स्फुरन्ति प्रविवेशाशु
स्फुरन्ति प्रविवेशासु
मुखाब्जानि स्वयंभुवः
मुखाब्जानि
स्वयंभुवः
स्वयंभुवः
गायत्रीं गायतः तस्मात्
गायत्रीं
गायत्रीं
गायतः
गायतः
तस्मात्
तस्मात्
अधिगत्य सरोजजः
अधिगत्य
अधिगत्य
सरोजः
सरोजजः
संस्कृतस्यादिगुरुण
संस्कृत्य
विदितामगमत्ततः
मगतामतः
Very nice. Can I request devotees kindly take a turn to recite? Sachi Mataji, would you like to go first?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I'll try. अथ वेणुनिनादस्य त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः स्फुरन्ति प्रविवेशासु मुखब्जानि स्वयंभुवः गायत्रीं गायतस्तस्मात् अधिगत्य सरोजजः संस्कृतस्तश्चादि गुरुणा द्विजताम् अगतां ततः. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Sanjita Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु अथ वेणुनिनादस्य त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः स्फुरन्ति प्रविवेशासु मुखाब्जानि स्वयंभुवः गायत्रीं गायतस्तस्मात् अधिगत्य सरोजजः संस्कृतश्चादिगुरुणा द्विजितम् अगमत् ततः. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Ramlala Prabhuji, please.
अथ वेणुनिनादस्य त्रयमूर्तिमयी गतिः स्फुरन्ति प्रविवेशसु मुखजानि स्वयंभुव गायत्रीं गायतस्तस्मात् अधिगत सरोजाज संस्कारत च गुरुणा द्वैतम् अगमत् तथा.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Jai Mataji, please.
Sorry, Hare Krishna. अथ वेणुनिनादस्य त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः स्फुरन्ति प्रविवेशासु sorry, I'll start again. Sfuranti praviveshashu mukhabjani swayambhuvah gayatrim gayatah tasmad adigatya sarojajaha samskritaschadi chadi guruna dvijatam agamat tataha. Sorry, Prabhuji. Sorry. Hare
Very
Krishna.
nicely done. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
I can try, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. अदवेणुनिनादस्य त्रयीमूर्तिमयी गतिः स्फुरन्ति प्रविशेषासु मोहाबीजानि
Swayambhuvaha.
स्वयंभुवः गायत्रीं गायतस्तस्मात् अधिगत्य सरोजतः संस्कृताश्चादिगुरुणा द्विजातम् अहमत्तदाः. Hare Krishna.
Very
Sorry.
nice. Thank you, Mataji. You want to do it once again, Mataji?
Okay. अदवेणुनिनादस्य त्रयीमूर्तिमयी gadihi sprandi pravivisasu
Spuran,
muha
spuranti praviveshashu
sprandi praviveshasu muhabijani swayambhuvaha gayatrim gayatastashmat adigatya sarojataha sanskritas chati guruna Dvijadam ahamattadaha.
Very nice. Thank you,
Sorry,
Mataji.
Prabhu, I tried my best.
Okay, nicely recited. Gauringi Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Athavino ninadasya traye murti mayi gatihi su spurati prabhavisasu mukhabjani sabhyam bhuvaha swayam bhuvaha gayatrim gayatas tasmad adhigatya sarojaha sam samskritas chadi guruna divijatam agamat tataha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Very nice. So beautiful, Mataji. Okay, anyone else wanted to do it? Manoj Prabhuji, are you available to do it?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I can do it, yeah.
Yes,
Ata veno ninadasya trayamurti maye gati spuranti pravivesassu mukhabhyana swayamvaha gayatrim gayatas tasamat atigatya sarojaha samskratas kari guruna vijitam agamat tataha.
very beautiful. Would you like to read the translation, Prabhuji?
Yeah. Then Gayatri, mother of the Vedas, being made manifest, that is, imparted by the divine sound of the flute of Sri Krishna, entered into the lotus mouth of Brahma, born from himself. Through his 8 ear holes, the lotus born Brahma, having received the Gayatri, sprung from the flute song of Sri Krishna, attained the status of the twice born, having been initiated by the supreme primal receptor, God ahead himself.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
That is from this shloka. Okay, so with this one, there is one more shloka is there. What Brahma is going to do. So next shloka describes that he is going to glorify Krishna with all his Brahma Samhita prayers, like the beautiful part where what we sing, Chindamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalparuksha Laksha Vruteshu Surabhira Vipalayantam. That beautiful shlokas will come after this. This is one more shloka. This is just giving a introduction to those prayers here. So, Traya Prabudhoda Vidirvidyata Tatvasagaraha Tustava Vedasarena Stotrenanena Keshavam. This is Vedasaram. Tustava Vedasarena. This is later on. What is Vedasara? This Brahma's prayers. It gives this one. It's a small shloka only. I think we can just complete this if devotees are okay, or what devotees wanted to do it. Is it too late, or can do it, or next week we'll do it? Any comments, dear devotees? Anyone, if you have got any other questions, we can discuss, or we can do the shloka, what you wanted to do. Jai Mataji.
I'm okay for a few minutes, but other people need to let
Yes,
you.
Prabhu, I'm also okay for a few minutes, then I'll need to leave. Yeah, but about questions you asked, like, so here it mentioned 3 Vedas, Prabhu. So I wanted to ask earlier also. So initially, sometimes we hear there was only one Veda, and that was later divided into four. But here, like this is only the starting, beginning, when Brahma is hearing the mantra and everything is starting. So was there three? That's a bit of my confusion.
So, I think Prabhupada has given in the purport of Bhagavad Gita, Trei Vishya Veda, Nistrei Gunyo Bhavarjuna. So this one it is giving. Let us see that one. Is that in the
Vedas, isn't it? You talked 5 Vedas or something.
that Krishna Yajurveda, Shukla Yajurveda, like that one? Nistrai. Yeah, this one. Trigunya Vishya Veda, Nistrigunya Bhavarjuna. So they deal with the three material modes of nature. And in one of the shlokas, the Vedas deal mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. Let me see. Okay, this is about those things, but here, okay, this is just only three material modes, but here Trayamurti Mayigatihi, maybe mother of the three Vedas. I'm just not getting to this point. Three Vedas in the sense, I don't know, Mataji, I'm not getting into it. So we have got one previously. I think it is the Adharvana Veda. It was again Adharvana Veda
Atharva, yeah.
that was split into four.
Four
That's
and
what
four,
we
yeah.
see from Bhagavatam.
No problem, Prabhu. We can like find out and discuss later also. And as regard to Jai Ved, Mataji was saying 5 Vedas. So Mataji, like from the point, it was 4 Vedas, like the Atharva, Yajur, Rig Veda, and Sam Veda. So, and then fifth Veda is considered as the Mahabharata. The Itihasas are considered as one of the Vedas because it's Veda basically means knowledge. So the Itihasas were considered as because it's quite big, like 1 lakh mantras. So that's also considered as Veda. That's why it's like for purpose mentioning connotation purpose, it says that the fifth Veda.
But that is not widely spoken about, is it? Like that it is a
No,
fifth Veda.
no, no. Yeah.
So this one, yes, Mataji, as Sanchita Mataji described that one, Bhagavatam, there Sudha Goswami describes that one in the 4th chapter of here. So here he says that Panchama Veda, Mahabharata is the Panchama Veda. It is mentioned. Sarvadha Paribrahmitam. So he also describes that one. I think here itself, he describes about the Mahabharata. So here, Vedas in the various ways up to the Mahabharata, this one. And then Sarvadha Paribrahmitam. So this is called fifth way, which are known as Mahabharata, Samhitas, Purana. These are all fifth Vedas. Above these 4 Vedas, this is known as Panchama Veda. And then apart from this, out of this Yajurveda, there is again Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda. So again, 2 parts within that one. That is also some, it is not widely spoken, but who knows those details, they will speak. But Panchama Veda refers to the Puranas, Mahabharata, Samhitas.
Yeah, about I was asking the AIs, and then in terms of reference, she in terms of like shlokas, Chandodaya Upanishad, I think there it says it's the Mahabharata as the fifth yoga, Veda. And so it's 7.1.4. It explicitly refers that Itihas Purana as the fifth Veda. So that's the reference in that. So Mataji, you were asking like it's not widely used when we refer, but in one of the Upanishads it's mentioned. So it's Mahabharata as the fifth yoga. That's Chandodaya Upanishad. And maybe from that, like, Sutta Goswami was mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, I've also read it. He's mentioned some place, but I can't know the exact reference. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. But Veda means one wall. Vedam ekam chaturvidam. He split that. Vyasadeva. That's why Vyasa is the one. He has split one into 4 divisions. Okay. Any other questions?
And yeah, another thing is like also if we try to understand it this way, like initially it was just one, because Vyasadeva, he put the knowledge in a very condensed form, and Atharva Veda, it was very difficult for anybody, like all his, all the rishis, Jaimini, and all the Kashyap and all the rishis whom he wanted to pass that to his disciples, they were not able to understand that. So then he divided that into as here it says 3 Vedas, but we know it as 4 Vedas. And then that also all these different rishis, they are not able to like get or do the comment, because that this knowledge was given basically for Kali Yuga people to be like understood in a way so that they can pass on the knowledge through Shruti. So these are all Shrutis. So they needed to understand. So we can only write a reflection or any commentary only when we understand the Tattva. So the philosophy, that was very difficult to understand even when there was 4 Vedas. So 4, then they divided into they've divided into the 18 Puranas. So the 18 Puranas based on the 3 modes of material nature, 6 for goodness, 6 for passion, 6 for ignorance, that way. And that also like was quite condensed, and then it was further divided into the 108 Upanishads. Like it's Upanishads, if you see, they are very small, like few chapters and one Upanishad done. The Mahamantra is also given in one of the what's the Upanishad name, Prabhu? It's Kala. Mahamantra is also given in one of the Upanishads, from where we got this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It's only a few chapters, that Upanishad. So like that. And then all these rishis, they were able to give the commentary. So that's the Vedanta Sutra, like that was given by Vyasadeva, but then later Madhavacharya and the different Acharya, Ballavacharya, everybody from the different paramparas, the 4 paramparas, they gave their commentaries based on that. So one of them comes, like Mahabharata also comes part of that, where lots of commentaries, because the original Mahabharata is quite difficult to understand. It's in Sanskrit, but what is the reflection? It's basically Mahabharata has got everything in terms of like for a grihastha to understand, or whoever, like everybody can get knowledge from there. But sometimes reading the shlokas, people might not get what it means. So then all the commentaries were written after that. Tika, they say it like tika, so different, like in Jiva, all the Goswamis also, they have written tika on the various things. So it became easier when it was expanded further and further. So that is how it goes. So initially it started with one Veda, which was spoken by Lord himself, like Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas Dev. So and then he made it simpler later on for the people to understand. So, and one of the Puranas comes like Srimad Bhagavat Puran. So Bhagavat Puran is also one of the Puranas which become Srimad Bhagavatam later, because Vyasadeva glorified Krishna and his pastimes more elaborately. So like that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely explained. Jai Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
You want to
Hare
add anything, Mataji?
No. Everything is nicely explained by you and Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada also purported actually 9:20. Yes. Here on the purport. Actually, Atharva is coming afterward, and Ishopanishad is coming also. Actually, consider Atharva Veda, but other three Veda 9:20. You can find it. Yes, and Prabhupada give also give commentary also. Yes.
It is a Trividya Mam Sumapaha Putaka. Trividya.
Yeah.
Nor of the three Vedas.
Yes. And Prabhupada also mentioned actually three Veda.
It is Soma Yajur Rug. Oh, yes.
Rig Sham Zajur. Yeah, mainly three Veda. Easily remember.
Yeah, and then another thing came to mind, just wanted to add and then finish with this. I need to leave. So when it becomes Shruti, so if you hear, like if we see, like, the society, we have these surnames like Chaturvedi, Trivedi, Dvivedi. So when it's good, like, with Nalanda and Takshashila, all these universities, the books were there and they were burnt, but the Vedas still remained, the knowledge remained because it was Shruti. Most of it remained. So it was like though all those disciples who could remember 4 Vedas, they were given the surname of Chaturvedi. Those who could do 3, they were Trivedi, and Dvivedi, I mean, they could remember 2. So even now you see the surnames are there, but people have, like, that's a skill, it's lost. I mean, that power to remember, that it's gone now. So even if it's a Dvivedi, they don't remember the 2 Vedas. So it's like that. Yeah. And the Upanishad I was mentioning about Mahamantra, where it's going Kali Santarana Upanishad. It's there was another big Upanishad where everything about the future was given, very detailed. I forgot the name, but that's destroyed, so that's not there. I mean, even what will happen in 1000 years or 2000 years as we progress into the Kali Yuga, a very detailed description was given, but that knowledge is lost. Yeah, like, we have this also Brahma Samhita, we only have one chapter of it. So chapter 5 with 62 verses only, the other knowledge are lost. So like that. Hare Krishna.
Actually, Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself. He need, because even Triveda here, we know Triveda, even they don't know what is the purpose, ultimate goal of human life. They can go upper planet, Janalok, Mahalok, or Tapalok, whatever. This is temporary actually. And that's why Triveda, we have to understand what is the goal of Veda, to know Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna bring actually Brahma Samhita, only chapter 5 is enough for us. Even in the temple, we start from first text and going to 29, because these are it's necessary to know, but only short time. We have very short time to know actually what is this special planet, how we can do service, and how we be attracted for this. So that is the main thing. So these are the things actually. Other your mothers you mentioned also. Actually, sometimes some scholar or ISKCON devotees, ISKCON Maharaj, they mention Bhagavatam is considered as a fifth Veda. So these are the things. Everything is right. Whatever you mentioned, Mahabharata, or that is also considered. Even as a sunrise Bhagavatam. So all these are the things. Main purpose is what is the Veda, goal of Veda. In some of the Bhagavad Gita 15:15 is mentioned. I am the knower of all this Veda. So I am knower. So that is main purpose. If you are deviate from that is not real purpose of Veda. Like I said.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sometimes many people who are attracted to this, Krishna says, Nistre Gunyu Bhavarjuna, do not worry about those Vedas. They will just give. If you do this one, you will get this result. Likewise, they will attract. And Krishna, yes, as Prabhu, Tamlala Prabhu says, Vedesh sarvair ahameva vedho vedanta krudved videv chaham. Krishna says that all studying Vedas only to know about me. And Krishna says to Arjuna, do not worry about Vedas, O Arjuna, do not get bewildered. That deals with the three material modes of nature. Nistre gunyo bhavarjuna. Just raise yourself above the Vedas. Do not attract for pious punya karmas and pap karmas like that. And here one of the statements of Prithu Maharaj, he mentions to the Lord when the Lord has appeared, he says that, my dear Lord, what you have said to your unalloyed devotee is certainly very much bewildering. The allurements you offer in the Vedas are certainly not suitable for pure devotees. People in general, bound by the sweet words of the Vedas, engage themselves again and again in fruitive activities, enamored by the results of their actions. So that's why Brahmana says in the ninth chapter, uh, as Krishna again he describes many people attracted towards the performing yajna, somapaha, putapapa. So they're seeking heavenly planets. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking that heavenly planets, worship me indirectly, purified of sinful reactions. They take birth in the pious activists, heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. This is how some people are attracted for that Vedas. But here Prithu Maharaj is saying that they are bewildering to the devotees, pure devotees. So you offer the Vedas certainly not for pure devotees. That is not for devotees. Because devotees, they want to always stay with the Lord. It doesn't matter. Diviva bhuvo narakevan mamastu vasu narakeva narakantaka prakamam avadhirita saradhara vindhau charanote marne api chintayami. They're not worry about either bhuvi or divi or anywhere or hell. It doesn't matter. As long as they're engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. That is pure devotees. Vedas are certainly not suitable for pure devotees. But people in general, it is for the people in general, bound by the sweet words of the Vedas, then engage themselves again and again in fruitive activities, enamored by the results of their actions. So that is required, but for to bring the consciousness of people to the higher level. That is Varnashrama Dharma is required. It's a platform. But however, devotees of the Lord, they have transcended about this Varnashrama Dharma. For them, it is once because they have crossed that level, they do not have to worry about it. For them, it is not suitable. Prithu Maharaj says that the allurements you offer in the Vedas are certainly not suitable for pure devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any other questions? Any updates? Any other sharings or anything which is taking your mind to ask? Kyle Mataji. Or Arvind Prabhuji.
I'm just listening what you are saying. Yeah, nothing. Yeah. I don't have any question. Thank you.
If you have got anything to share
Prabhu.
with us, Mataji.
No, I feel very refreshable after hearing all those things.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, that's it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just one quick question. You know the Brahma Samhita prayers that we sometimes listen on YouTube, they usually start from, I think, verse 29 or something. Is that correct?
Yes,
So
Mataji.
all the previous ones, they are not included for any reason, or?
It is start from first one and then going to 29. First one.
But on YouTube, it starts midway, like from here.
Yes. Yeah, it starts from 29 and goes up to last but 5 verses. So, Shriyaha Kantaha Kantaha Paramapurushaha Kalpataru. This is up to this 56 it ends. And then there are furthermore 5 or 6 slokas. So this is Atovacha Mahavishnu Bhagwantam Prajapatim Brahman Mahatma Vijnani Prajasargya Chenmatihi Pancha Shlokim, 5 slokas. The Lord speaks in response to the Brahma's prayers. Krishna speaks to Brahma, the 5 shlokas. So this is like Krishna spoke to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. Likewise, Krishna again speaks to Brahma here, giving the instructions. The 5 shlokas, this is summary of all the Brahma Samhita. Brahma glorifies Krishna in various ways. That is very nice. But for what is instructions to Brahma here? Here he says 58 to I think 60, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62 shlokas. And the last shloka giving like a aham hi visvasya characharasya bijam pradhanam prakritihi pumaamsha maya hitam tej idam vivarshi videhi tvamato jaganti. In the previous slok he says sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam bhaji visvasan. Brahma also receives that instruction. Similar to Arjuna, sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Here Sarvadharma, Dharman Anyan Parityajya Mam Ekam Bhaji Visvasan Yadrusi Shraddha Siddhir Bhavati Tadrusi Kurvan Nirantaram Karma Lokoyam Anuvartate Tenaiva Karmana Dhyayan. So Mam Dhyayan Mam Param Bhakti Micchati. So Bhaktim, here again he mentions Brahma Bhakti Micchati. Param Bhaktim. Likewise, Brahma also receives instructions from Krishna here. This one also will not chant every day-to-day thing. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So we shall.
Yeah, Prabhu, just quickly, maybe you can open Bhagavad. So, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Krishna says, like when Arjuna is asking questions, he's saying, when your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery languages of the Vedas, and it remains fixed in 253, I think it's in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained divine consciousness. So that's what, like all the Vedas that has been spoken and all the knowledge that has been said and all, basically it's for divine realization and self-realization. So initially, yes, to those who are they don't have any, they don't understand dharma, and also to bring everybody to follow. First, if you try to if that's why in the Gita 1866 is given in the later time, as a later verse, and similarly in Brahma Samhita also we see it's towards the end. So initially, if you ask to surrender everything, they will not understand. So basically Krishna is giving him karma yoga, gyan yoga, and everything, and then like in terms of knowledge, he's saying like this is what you need to do. So that's why the Vedas also, there's for so many purposes, for different gods, devatas, demigods, and different pastimes, everything is happening. He's giving all the knowledge initially as like, they say like Mahabharat, it's like more for entertainment. So you know the story, what is happening, just like as a bait, like to attract people, like, oh, this is happening in the Shastras. And then filter it to the Bhagavad Gita, then filter it, and then we come to 1866, like that. So out of the 1 lakh shlokas, the main thing is to attract more people to like dharma, like our scriptures. Similarly, Vedas are also in a much bigger platform. So all the Vedas are there to understand what is happening, what has been instructed. But later it comes to basically 1866 or in this shloka. So flowery languages, once your mind is like, you can get over that, no longer disturbed by that. So we do not need to some earlier we used to think, oh my god, in one lifetime how can we learn so many scriptures? But then that's not the requirement is fixed in the trance of self-realization, then we'll attain the divine, so divine consciousness. So yeah, that's the purpose. And then it makes it much similar. So basically Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and later into deep past times like Chaitanya Charitamrita has everything, like how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he's like have Srimad Bhagavatam important parts and then Bhagavad Gita important parts. So that's how I summarize like a PhD postgraduate knowledge kind of thing. So it's like these three books are more important to focus on, and that will itself take a lifetime. Like we have started almost 5 years back and still in Canto 3. So doing it properly, it takes a while. So yeah, we feel fortunate, Prabhu. And just before we just sign out, like to say, devotees to please unmute and say three loud Haribols to Prabhu for giving us time to help us learn his knowledge.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
And to all devotees. So yeah, we started with the chanting more than 4 years back, but it is single verses every day, and then people they're not prepared to receive or to hear Bhagavatam initially, but from another 5 minutes, few minutes they get to hear why
Prabhu, can you please
everyone
mute?
taking participation.
Can't hear you. Prabhu, can you please mute?
Yes, Mika. Yeah, so initially we started with just one sloka reciting without sharing anything, and later on with sharing, and then later on devotees taking part in recitation, reading, and then it has grown a lot. Devotees are more enthusiastically, but initially it is not possible to introduce everything. It cannot be digested by everyone. So likewise, even how we grow, it is the outside also for materialistic people to slowly bring their consciousness to. Okay, that is how things are happening. Krishna gives the steps one by one, like that. And it is all devotees' participation and their enthusiasm, their desire and hankering for Krishna consciousness. That is the topmost thing. That is on Srimad Bhagavatam for the Paramhamsas.
Yes, Prabhuji, but you don't get tired of us asking questions, and you have got so much patience. So thank you for that.
Undoubtedly, yes. Really, we can. I cannot imagine how is it possible. How is it possible? Lord of giving time. Even also, maybe we can manage our time, but we are deviation. Our deviation is other way. But Prabhuji, I can sometimes I'm thinking how Prabhuji can highly devoted for this thing. Really is one of the great example for us to become how to become as a devotee. Your devotee actually, not only devotee, high level of devotees. So it's very important. How it's really is good lesson for us actually. For me actually, for others I don't know, but for me it's great lesson from Amaga Prabhu. Really. Hare Krishna. Dandavad.
So yes, Prabhu very rightly said, but we take it as a, like, Krishna has like appointed him, like, Vyasdev, he did it for Kali Yuga. So we feel personal, like Krishna has given us the Sangha and given us Amoga Prabhu, like pure in the pure form, like he's such a nice name he's got from his Guru Maharaj, like learning, had that knack to learn the knowledge in a pure way, uncontaminated way, and then pass it on as preaching to others. So So we feel it's Krishna's blessings personally upon our Sangha, and of course a bit to Chad also, and in future through the YouTube recordings to many others. So that's our Krishna's precious, special mercy upon us. Hare Krishna.
Yes, but thank you, Mataji. But it is all Krishna's blessing, Srila Prabhupada's blessings, and the devotees' mercy. So adoring other devotees. There is so much from our Sangha. All devotees are adoring each other. That is the main thing. Krishna arranges everything. So we just need to take part in this as an instrument in the hand of the Lord. That is all Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Okay, so dear devotees, if you're all happy, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Just one thing or the one point that previously, this one was showing this one. What about the Omkara, about Jiva Goswami mentions? Akarena Ujjite Krishna Sarva Lokaika Nayakaha Ukaram Ukarenochite Radha Makaro Jivachakaha. This is one thing about the Omkara which I was previously trying to find. Akaram, Ukaram, and Makaram. Akaram is Omkara. Analyze Omkara in terms of the alphabetical constituents as follows. This is the Jiva Goswami, and our Goswamis mentions about it. It comes from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, 7th chapter, and Shloka 28. So, Akaram, Mukaram, Makaram is the Jiva Vachakaha. Just one point to say. We're not going deep into it for now, due to the time. Yeah, we shall conclude for now and continue with our japa. So next week we shall resume. Okay, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasha Krupa Sindhubhya cha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Anantapuri Vaishnavindra ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Amaka Prabhu ki jai.
Jai. Jai.
Tanvela Prabhu ki Sanjita Mataji ki jai. Maharaj
Jai,
ki
Jai.
Asham की गौरंगी माता जी की प्रभावती सच्ची माता जी की मनस प्रभु जी के कायल की जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे